Woody, I saw this video and I thought of you. I saw this paramotor trike
Can you
triumphantly flying over a river, and then there's a video here. It's real short. This is great. I sent this to everybody I know. Everybody was like, "Oh no, Woody!"
Oh jeez!
Oh jeez!
I love the OGs guy.
Oh jeez! Gee
Dude, I've
willikers.
seen that in real life a couple of times. I've seen it be a non-incident where they bounce off the power lines because they weren't going straight into it, and I've seen it be a really big deal. My friend hit, and we call him Sparky now, and yeah, just like that. Big like blast of electricity burnt his wing. He fell like that guy, maybe 15 feet or so. He couldn't walk for a while. His hips were like broke, like they moved sort of independently, his two hips. And I was right there. There was a farm, and to see it from the top, it looked like a maze, which to a paramotor is an absolute playground. And I was a little more experienced with him. He was like a 200-hour pilot at the time, but he was right at this stage where I would have felt like a dick mother henning him, telling him like, don't forget to look for power lines, don't this, don't that, over the radio. So I didn't say anything. And I felt some guilt over that because I did a high level pass at like 500 feet, another pass at 100, got the whole layout of the place, and then started having fun. He went straight to the fun part until he ran into power lines. Standing on the ground, power lines are pretty visible, right? You see them against the blue sky. But when the backdrop is trees and grass, they're very hard to spot. And sure enough, he didn't see him, and he ran into him, and it made him fall, and he got hurt. He opted not to go to the hospital right away. He went the next day, but I had to fly back and get his van, and I was terrified the whole time. They call it a fear injury in paragliding, and I'm like, I don't even know, 500. I've done 1,000 flights at this point. And I'm like, do I still know how to launch this? There are these trimmers on your wings that make you go faster. I didn't want to touch them. I'm like, this fucking contraption's working right now. I don't trust it to make any changes. And I was scared of landing the whole flight home, which was like 40 minutes. And I did fine. I landed and I got his van and everything. And he turned out to be okay, like long term. But he had a rough month or two where he was kind of like walking with a cane and not walking and stuff like that.
That guy lived. Sucked. The guy that went into the water there, he lived. Although you could definitely see how someone would die like that if they weren't fit or if they took a knock on the head or something like that just right. I imagine you're strapped into that trike. That's what I would want, I think, if I were doing the paramotor.
That's how you'd want to go?
Drowning in a river, semi-concussed. Yeah. Attached to $12,000 worth of aluminum.
I texted you today, like as you're like gurgling into the deep, you hear some guy over the water going, "Oh geez!"
The fuel tank's on the bottom. It can be like the densest weight, and when you hit the water, oftentimes it's the lightest thing because it's empty and it floats you upside down and creates a real problem. It wants to sort of dunk you.
Yeah,
the water's a problem.
I imagine you got like a quick release thing on you. Like I wouldn't want to be like clipping stuff. I'd want to be like, woo, and I'm out. Kind of
quick release goes both ways, right? Like you like quick release when you're trying to get out, but you hate it if, like in the automotive world, right? It's at least mine was like a lever across your chest, and all it would take is one like bicep swipe on it, and now every clip that's keeping you in this flying contraption is undone.
You frantically be like,
well, it's a little different with a trike, though. You know, it's a little different with a trike because you're in, and that's why I know it's not safer. It's probably more dangerous because of the extra mass and everything that you're carrying around and being wrapped in. I don't know. I don't know if it's more dangerous. There aren't stats, but I would feel safer being in even that small of a craft. And I remember that was my first exposure to paramotors when we'd be out hunting and there was some guy in the area who had a trike and he was, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Scaring every deer within the tarnation up there.
Yeah. I flew by, same situation, was a different place, but like a farm that looked like a maze from above and not just a big field. And I'm zooming around and the hunters pointed their guns at me. And it's like, you don't have to do all that. And I thought I was alone. If I knew I was bothering anyone, I would have never flown.
This was probably after October 7th, and so it's understandable.
Maybe Is it? I like to believe they were just trying to get a better look at you through their scopes.
I didn't even consider that. I want to say they were shotguns, though. You know, I was only shitty. 12 feet up. Like,
oh,
12 feet.
All right, well, never mind, because I've definitely done that. I have looked at paramotor pilots with my scope before. I unloaded the gun and everything, but I was like, what? I want to look at him.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it sounds like they were threatening you with their guns, which is just
right. I shouldn't even have to do the hand motion. I never. It's noisy, right? It's a flying weed whacker. It's a 2-stroke with a exhaust meant to be lightweight, not effective. And I know it's a bother to be near anyone. I don't even like to scare cows. So once I saw there were hunters in a place that I thought was empty, I was going to leave. They took it too far. But
what time of year was it? Do you know?
Fall.
Oh yeah, it's deer. Hell, it's doves too in September or so. I guess it probably varies.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything against the guy flying. I was like, I'm doing my sport, and he's doing his. And like
they teach us in training. I'm sorry to cut you off. The first time people see you, you're interesting and kind of neat. The second time, meh. The third time, you're a noisy flying weed whacker. And that burned into my head. I'm like, okay, first time, just leave, and it's a cool thing.
What time do you fly, Woody? I feel like that also matters, like in terms of like how annoying I would find you if I just see you flying around in my neighborhood. I'm curious, when is like your typical flight?
Sunrise and sunset. That's when the air is the calmest, and that's when I fly. The quiet ones with no engine, they fly midday. So if I'm paragliding, midday. Paramotoring, evenings and mornings.
One last question, Woody. That guy that hit the power line right into the water, like a scale of 1 to 10, like how like deadly was that? Like, is that just like, shucks? Or did that guy like genuinely have a fear for his life?
No, that was a problem. The water adds a lot of complexity too. Like, it's much harder to save him. It's much harder to save yourself, to self-extract. All that stuff gets complicated. I did a training parachute deploy, right? So you have to repack your parachute every year. So why not fucking throw the thing? And so I went over a lake, put my wing in this like messed up condition where I'm just tumbling with a bed sheet. It's not a wing anymore. And I throw my parachute from that condition. All right, cool. It lands. But then it's doing this thing where in this case, it was a paragliding thing. And I've got a big like foam bumper under my butt to protect my spine if I do a bad job. Well, that big bumper under my butt is now like an inflatable that's trying to flip me over. So I'm using my arms doing like sort of this thing to like right myself. And I want to sit on top of the inflatable. Well, gosh darn it. Like my arms and legs kicking. I managed to put my legs in the 112 lines going from like my chair to my wing. And I'm bundled up and I can't get out of this thing. And I'm a guy who's really comfortable in the water. And it was eye-opening. Could I have lived? 50-50. But did I live? Yeah, the rescue boat was there. This was a controlled situation. And he pulled the boat right up to me, put his arm out. And then once I had a grip on somebody, my head wasn't going underwater anymore. But I had to take my shoes off to get out of the situation.
Do you have a method of communication? Like I'm thinking, like the extreme example is like that priest in Brazil that got him on a bunch of balloons and ended up getting flown out into the Atlantic, and his communication would work and died, obviously. But in like a situation like that, like do you have some sort of like communication device on you, like fucking help, I'm drowning, I can't get out of this? Like I'm kind of curious like what your fail safes are in a situation like that.
Sometimes we have a ham radio so we can talk to each other, and it ties in. My headset has like, what's a headset? It's a helmet with a headset and a mic and a boom mic, so we talk to each other. But I don't wear all those electronics when I know I'm going in the drink, so no.
Man,
would you the balloon guy?
The balloon guy. I was looking that up again.
What are we doing now?
It's so sad. The balloon priest guy. He's doing it for like charity, raising money for his church, and he just gets on a balloon and a nasty gust throws him right into the Atlantic.
Yeah, this guy Woody, I guess a stunt, exactly what you said, Santi. He put 1,000 balloons on like a chair, like it's a cartoon, and then he did not land as intended. He landed miles into the sea and died.
There was a race called the Icarus, and it'd just be a bunch of paramotoring guys fly really far from like Montana to Mexico or something like that. And it would take a couple days. Anyway, the organizers of the Icarus were like, this adventure stuff is a blast. Let's do one where we tied a gazillion balloons to a lawn chair and let people race. And competitors died in this thing, and it ended all of their
Oh my God.
The Icarus is gone. It sucks.
Yeah, who could have seen that coming? Right. Where like your exit strategy is your best friend with a BB gun, like trying to, not take out too many balloons, but please take some out. What happened to Bill Dauterive and King of the Hill? But he lived.
That works though. Someone else did that and it worked.
We're talking about the people that died doing it.
Well, that priest definitely died. I think they recovered. I don't think they recovered him.
No, they didn't. They found like individual balloons that were popped like throughout the various days that they were searching for him, but they did not find him.
That would have been.
Oh, they did find him on the 4th of July. The lower half of the human body was found floating on the ocean surface by an offshore oil rig support vessel about 100 kilometers from Marseille. The remains were initially identified as Carly's from the clothing, later confirmed by DNA tests. So they found half of them 100 kilometers away.
That's such a miserable way to go. Probably got eaten by crabs and all types of things.
That's a much better Midwestern United States flight to do. That way, if things go awry, you end up in Michigan. Whoopsie daisy.
Or it just sucks you into the stratosphere. You come across.
You come down eventually, though.
Eventually, the balloons freeze.
Like the guys who get sucked up, like they'll go unconscious, and then when they come back down to the proper altitude, they'll wake up again. They've got enough oxygen to stay alive, but not stay conscious.
Not all the time. They die.
Not
and they can get hypothermia too and die from that.
Dude, that Chinese guy with the ice whiskers, it's like it's out of a movie. It's like the scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when they're in the back of the truck, all frosty.
Even when things go right, it's cold. Like if you have a good flight, you'll get to 12,000-15,000 feet. And so I'm there in like winter clothes and it's baking on launch. It's
how cold?
Issue.
Do you know roughly 40s?
40s, yeah, upper 40s, 50s.
That's fucking cold. It's cold. If you're up there for like 10 minutes, it's like, oh, that's chilly up there, but it cooled me off. Actually, I was hot. But if you're up there for 2 hours,
yeah, it's kind of a flex. Like,
what if you didn't bring the BBs?
I had on a puffy coat and some like insulated pants. But on launch, when you see guys just like really decked out for like Arctic exploring, it's like, how high are you going? Like, are you that good that you reliably dress for 26,000 feet or something? Like,
it could be the opposite, reliably bad, that they get sucked up more often than they care to.
Yeah, it could be.
Think about like as you're kind of coming to terms with the fact that your fundraising balloon stunt has gone awry, and you're just in your own head being like, we could have done a car wash.
Bake sale.
There were so many options: bake sale, car wash, door-to-door services, and just all those ideas that sounded stupid and gay. Now they're sounded wholesome and successful.
I've never understood that kind of charity raising. Like, the charity should sell itself. If you're doing good things, people do that for that. The whole like, you give me $1 for every bowling pin I knock down thing. It's like, why?
No, I want an exact. How many are you going to knock down? I need to know exactly. Yeah, I don't like that either. We would do that. We would walk for cancer. And it's like, yeah, you want to sponsor my walk? And it's like, no,
that's terrible.
Really.
I'd only walk against it.
Yeah, that was in The Office where Michael Scott pledges $100, not knowing that's like per mile, and he's just hoping that like Oscar's niece is hefty, so she can't run.
That's great.
Where are we? Well, I'm guessing 5 straight line miles from the office.
Oh, that's the fun walk for the cure. That's
the cure for rabies.
Yeah,
which is a threat. If you get it, you're dead. So he wasn't that dumb.
Sucks.